My dad is marrying my ex and has no idea that we dated. And now he wants my blessing for their wedding.
Whew, God, I'm going to predict that OP is not the a-hole because this is just too much of a mess.
Like, are you kidding me? I can't imagine my dad dating one of my exes.
Yoinks.
This is all such a mess. I really don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it. I wouldn't either, OP. For some backstory, my dad isn't my biological father. He and my egg donor started dating when I was 2 and got married when I was 4, and then got divorced when I was 16. Honestly, I was far closer to my dad than I was to my egg donor, and my egg donor would regularly abuse both of us. After the divorce, he tried to stay in touch with me, but my egg donor purposely isolated him from me because she was so mad that he finally became confident enough in himself to escape from her abuse. She was able to get a protective order in place on both of us to completely limit contact after the divorce, and then financially blackmailed me to continue to isolate me from him while she paid for my college. So basically, the not mom egg donor was like, I'm not paying for your college unless you abide by my rules.
Yeah.
As soon as I graduated from college, when I was 21, I completely cut off contact with her and reached out to him again. Even though it had been 5 years since we last spoke, I was very happy to have him in my life again.
Wow.
My ex-girlfriend and I dated while I was in college. I was pretty low-key about the relationship because I was pretty sure if my mom found out I was a lesbian, she would cut me off completely. We started dating when I was 18 and dated for almost 3 years. I also never told my dad about her since we broke up only a few months after we reconnected. He did comfort me through the breakup, but he never met her or really knew anything about her. That brings us to last night.
Woo!
My dad and I have a standing dinner date for every other Wednesday, but we've both been busy for the last month, so I haven't seen him since Thanksgiving. He told me that he would be bringing his girlfriend to tag along, and I have to admit that I was both sad because it wouldn't be just the two of us like it normally is, but I was also excited to finally meet her. Unfortunately, once I reached the restaurant, I'm absolutely floored to see my dad sitting there with my ex-girlfriend.
God.
I'm absolutely shocked to see them together, and when my dad introduces her to me, he introduces her as his fiance.
Oh, God.
And tells me that he wanted me to be the first to know. Apparently, they got engaged 2 weeks ago, but haven't told anyone except for her parents, who I've even met before.
This is going to be so awkward to explain.
I must have had a shocked look on my face because he starts going into this whole thing about how he knows that I might be uncomfortable with him dating a girl who's so close in age to me, and how the age gap concerned him too, because he's 38 and she's 26. He said he knows it would be especially uncomfortable because of my egg donor. Well, I would never compare him to her since she was literally a groomer who started dating her tutoring student when he was 17 and then married him when he was 19. The entire time I was talking to him, though, I was staring right at my ex-girlfriend in complete shock. It ended up being way too weird to me, so I just told him I needed to go after like 5 minutes. Also, why is the ex-girlfriend not reacting at all? My dad texted me again today telling me how he was so sorry to ambush me with that information and that he was sorry that it came off the way it had. He told me again that he understood if the age gap made me uncomfortable, but he hoped I didn't think he was some kind of creep for dating a woman so much younger than him. He then told me that he felt like he was truly happy for the first time in the last 20 years, and he hoped that I could come to accept this even if it took me a long time. I, on the other hand, am completely lost. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know that we dated, and I really don't know whether or not I should tell him. I don't have anyone to go to about this since he's literally the person I would vent to normally, so I decided to let it all out here.
I mean, she has to tell him. Go to her first. Go to the ex first.
You probably have her number.
Not telling the daughter is one thing, but not telling the new fiance about the daughter is a completely different story.
But there is an update, John.
Here we go. Sam, you know we talk about a lot of really hard situations on this podcast.
Oh, baby, the hardest.
And you know, Sam, that's not the only thing that we need hard in this world.
Fellas, if you're trying to play a little game of hide the zucchini and you want that zucchini to be nice, firm, and strong, I think you're gonna want to hear about our next sponsor.
We are working with Blue Chew, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Chew tablets. It is the best option to get your wiener stiff.
And you might be like, oh, I don't need it. But hey, You never know until you try. You could already be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but what if you were Superman? What if you were Tom Brady throwing spirals every freaking day in the bedroom?
That's right, guys. Blue Chew wants you to have better sex.
And I do too, personally.
We want your dongs rock hard. Discover all your options at bluechew.com. Just chew it and do it, baby.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code OKOP at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. I'm saying like free, like actually free. That's bluechew.com. Promo code OKOP to receive your first month free.
Come on.
Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And I just want to thank Blue Chew one more time for sponsoring this podcast and making the hard things hard and our life easy.
Oh, yes. Back to the episode.
Just to clarify again that my dad is not my biological father. My egg donor was a groomer and an abuser, but at least she didn't do that. Still doesn't excuse dating a 17-year-old at the age of 30, but whatever. So, edit. I'm going to text my ex-girlfriend. I know most of you think she already knew. That's what we thought. Or that she targeted him or something, but I just don't believe that. For one, my dad and I don't have the same last name. And like I mentioned in the comment, we look nothing alike since he is Asian and I am white. Okay, fair. I also never told my ex that he was not my biological father or told him his name.
You're not my dad!
Do people do that? I don't think I've ever even said my dad's name when referring to him. That's so weird to me. I just always called him my dad. I mean, if you're dating for 3 years, like I know my girlfriend's
Parents' names. 100%.
The only thing I told my ex about my past was that my egg donor forced my dad away from me, and I didn't really talk about it besides that because it hurt too much. So maybe she doesn't talk about her dad that much because of the pain. So that makes more sense. I did tell her when my dad and I started reconnecting, but our relationship was already pretty much ending at that point. Like I said, there wasn't really animosity or anything. We just sort of fell out of love with each other. She initiated the breakup, but after talking through it, it was completely mutual. Anyway, since I don't know whether or not she knew, and I have no reason to believe that she was going out of her way to date my dad, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and tell her that she needs to tell him, and that if she doesn't, I will. Also, some of you asked me why I haven't told him already and why I said nothing at dinner. I want all of you to understand how important my dad is to me. I had to lose him for so long, so I do treat our relationship with some extra care sometimes. I also feel extremely guilty about what happened to him, and I can't help but feel like it's partially my fault that he lost so much of his life. I'm almost certain that part of the reason he even stayed with my egg donor for so long was because of me. He was going through physical and emotional abuse on a daily basis, and a significant portion of it was to protect me from her as well. I'm pretty sure if he didn't love me as much as he did, and if he wasn't so scared how much worse my egg donor would treat me without him around to protect me, he would have left much sooner. I feel terrible about the idea of him being happy finally and me ruining it with the truth. John, what the hell do you think? What's going on here?
A-hole or not, I think, OP, not the a-hole. OP was just thrown into this scenario. OP's dad, also not the a-hole.
No, he has no idea.
Seems like he has no idea, and it seems like he has done so much for his daughter, which is beautiful. Egg donor, the mom, definitely seems like the a-hole on a million different areas. Only one that's questionable is the ex-girlfriend, because it's like, how did she not know?
Yeah.
It's very suspect.
Yeah. But I would love to know what you guys think. Put it in the comments.
This is probably one of the craziest stories you've ever heard. I also want to know if anyone in the comments has experienced anything similar, because we've read, damn near 1,000 stories.
Oh, yeah.
And this one is just perplexingly insane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Please let us know what you think. But John, I want to know what you think about this next story that you're about to read.
We've got another family drama, but this time $8 million is on the line.
That's a lot of cash.
Yeah, it is.